The first couple of times I looked at this piece of work, Ellsworth Kelly's green curve with a radius of 20 feet from 1974, I was underwhelmed, displeased, and almost angered by it. There is seemingly such lack of detail and effort. When I interpret any work, I attempt to gauge how difficult the piece must have been to create. If I can visualize how taxing this process must have been for the artist, only then do I consider it art. I can't help but compare one piece of art to the next. So when I see something like Michelangelo's creation of Adam in the Sistine Chapel, to me there's simply no debate as to which is more impressive. So who thought this deserved a spot in an art gallery? I ask myself who would exit their home to see a green triangle that a 5-year-old could have made. Apparently, the answer is a lot of people, and the underlying reasons are attention to detail and context. I'll use this analogy to help demonstrate my point. At first glance, this is just 3 words: egg, egg, and easy. But if anyone stares at this long enough, they can understand that their composition creates a visual riddle that actually means 2 eggs over easy. However, only when a person understands that 2 eggs over easy is also an idiom does this phrase carry meaning. And only then can a person fully grasp and enjoy this visual riddle. Fathoming a visual riddle is much like fully understanding an artwork. Sometimes a piece can be processed by the viewer only to a certain degree without understanding the context of the piece. The context is what gives the art value and allows the viewer to gain full understanding. I find this concept especially useful when interpreting Ellsworth Kelly's work. Kelly began his formal art education at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn in 1941 to 1942. In 1943, Kelly was drafted into the United States Army, where he fittingly served in the 603rd Camouflage Engineer Battalion. He worked with the Ghost Army, a group of actors, artists, and people with creative backgrounds to create decoy tanks and sounds to throw off enemy forces. Some believe his experiences with the Army in this way helped him better develop his understanding of art. Without context, a viewer would be unaware that Kelly's piece Colors for a Large Wall from 1951 actually uses colored squares to reference sound deception frequencies utilized in the war. It slowly becomes clear that this is not merely a green triangle. Green curve with a radius of 20 feet represents a small fragment of a far larger circle. If it weren't for my poor attention to detail due to initial anger and frustration, perhaps I would have noticed the subtle curve of the hypotenuse that alludes to this larger shape. Kelly uses extreme abstraction and the concept of nothingness to project his work into a new space. At the time, he was truly pushing abstract artwork to a new extreme. Kelly's artwork is the perfect example of why context means everything, especially when it comes to the significance of the abstract. I now see why Kelly's forms are far too elegant for any 5-year-old to achieve.